Bing, 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 bing. Bonk. We're live. It's Sam and Rose and Lokesh, and here we are. It's the AutoGraders beta grader meeting, or whatever we call it. I've forgotten.
Try to
It's the end
say
of the
that
week.
fast 3 times.
Absolutely. I can feel my tongue getting in a twist already. We successfully almost moved the meeting forward. Then, oh gosh, my Chrome. Anyway, audio problems. We're live. It is the end of another long week. Rose, how are things going with you?
Well, not bad. We still seem to be having that problem with the performance homework, and I need to get a little more visibility into what the students are doing and what is working and what's not. But apparently, no one can get it graded. So I don't know if it's because they're not submitting things properly or some other thing.
Mm-hmm. Right. We can look. Is that the one issue for you this week, or is there anything else on your mind?
Well, there's one group. I mean, in addition to the fact that I've got one section that I don't know, they just don't make progress. I'm sorry, my puppy has decided to play with a squeak toy.
That's all right.
I'll mute myself as
No, I
soon as I finish
can hardly
talking.
hear it. It's a relaxing background noise. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I've had him with me the last couple of weeks because he had surgery 2 weeks ago, and he just wants to be held, and
No worries.
stuff.
I mean, ironically, see, the funny thing is Michael has got this. He's got this like router that doesn't where the battery has died, and it makes this incredibly piercing beep that he on his side doesn't seem to hear or bother him, and it does it like every hour. But somehow through the, I mean, he's got used to it or just whatever. He's half deaf, but through the Hangout, I feel like I'm being stabbed in the temple. Whereas, ironically, in this case with the squeaky toy, which probably sounds very loud to you, it was like a gentle little bird tweet in the background.
Oh, okay. Then just imagine that I've got like birds in my office.
I'm in a woodland glade.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
there you
relaxing
go.
in a woodland glade.
Yes. Instead of Jasper attacking a toy.
that sounds good. That's quite a nice image as well. But you were saying we've got one thing is people that the performance homework. Yeah. The other one is there's one group who is stuck on what was it?
Well, I've got this whole section that have just been dragging their heels all semester, and it's been very difficult to motivate them. And I mean, they just make very little progress every week. Sure. Which is disturbing. I can't really do anything about it. And I mean, I got together with one of them Wednesday, and we went through a number of items that he was having trouble with. And it's all so basic. This is what bothers me. It's like, well, it's not like we haven't gone over this ad infinitum. It's like, why are you still getting caught up with basic things? I mean, I didn't say that to him, but I just tried to encourage him and show him how he could tell whether things were working or not working, and how the link to works, and how the paths work, etc. Because he was confused about some very basic things. And I said to him, when you have this sort of confusion, you have to bring it up right away. I said it's best if you send a message on Slack, and then I can address the whole class, because if you're having an issue, everyone else is. But I said, if need be, if you absolutely are uncomfortable with that, send me a private message, know, and what I might do is answer your question and then post it for everybody so that everyone can see the answer. But it's just been really frustrating. And then I have one person in my other section who's having some sort of problem with their testing. And they were supposed to give me I know where their GitHub is, and they were supposed to tell me what branch they were on so I could and I've been emailing them and saying, you actually have to tell me what branch you're on. I'm not going to go look through the dozen or so branches.
Sure.
And try to figure out which one you're talking about. So, I mean, this is so typical. I know I've got some issues, but I'm on hold, basically.
Sure. Yes.
But the only one that I know for sure is that no one seems to have been able to get the performance homework graded.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I don't know if, again, it could just be they're submitting it wrong.
Yeah, well, no, let's go and have a look at that. I certainly empathize with the general point that you're making there about the yeah, I guess people not helping you to help them, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just it's a mountain to climb. They're and I think particularly within the framework that you have is this relatively short period. I mean, I think even working with people in an organization, it can be difficult to get them to change their behavior in
Sure.
that
Sure.
regard. Yeah, yeah. I mean, on my side, the things I've done as regards the MOOC is the AV 102 TA training course is running. I was frustrated to find that the graders for that, which are actually using the legacy grader, were not working, and I was like, oh gosh, am I going to have to convert all of the assignments from that
Oh.
course to work with a new
Oh.
grader? And then actually, in a miracle 45 minutes last night, during my kids' karate class, I managed to fix with a really nasty hack that I've blogged all of that out. But I mean, the path to redemption for the AutoGraders would be for me to move all of this stuff over and document it and sort it out
Sure.
and help to the.
Sure.
But I couldn't help but like, if I could just get this one thing to work, and it'll all suddenly. So it was hacking up the way that the legacy grader deals with cookies, and I got that working, and then suddenly they're all grading again. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's kind of path of least resistance. I mean, it allows us to run this part of the AV102 course again, but it's gives me all sorts of heebie-jeebies. But yeah,
well,
so,
there's always refactoring.
yeah. I mean, it's I mean, the difficulty is it's sort of, you know, what would be great is if there was some funding for kind of active development work on the graders.
Absolutely.
We'll
Absolutely.
See. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I should mention one thing. On the other hand, you know, I was on break last week, and I have been so far behind in all of my additional grading, besides what the AutoGrader does.
Right.
So I was able to slog through most of the pair programming videos, and at least, you know, my one section, as I said, they're doing so beautifully.
Oh, wonderful.
So beautiful. So I'm thrilled. As I said, the other section not so much, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fantastic that you've really embraced wholeheartedly, you know, the things that we experimented with in the MOOC last time around, which is the pair programming and the videoing it and doing it, this, that, and the other. And in fact, this next run of the MOOC will probably be taking that out, because I think we haven't got the administrative capacity to even with them doing peer reviewing, it's just the number of people who are saying, oh, I didn't get the right kind of review and so on. So we will probably end up taking that. I think it's great that you're getting that going and continue. And I guess you're seeing some benefit from it in your class as well.
I mean, I'm very impressed at the way that they are developing this year. At least, as I said, the one section. The other section, I just don't know what's going on. I mean, from what I hear, this group, for whatever reason, has had some issues from the get-go. Had a really rough fall semester as new graduate students. Right, they had a really rough fall semester. I think I mentioned to you that I had 8 people transfer in.
Oh, like halfway through or something.
On the fourth, on the fourth week of class, and so that's been challenging.
Sure.
And you know, I just hear that they're struggling in their other courses. So I imagine the other courses are required and mine is not. So I'm assuming that a lot of what's happening is my course is getting short shrift, since they are more concerned about their other courses.
Right.
And you know, there's not much I can do about that other than be supportive. And I mean, I set up times. You know, they'll say, "Oh, can we do a hangout?" And we'll set up a time. Like I was supposed to meet with one group at 10 o'clock Wednesday night, because they have class until 9 and they can't get home or whatever, but until then, and you know, no one showed up.
Right.
And, you know, can lead a horse to water.
Well, indeed. The yes, it's. I think. I mean, that's the funny thing for all of everything else that we try and adjust to make the educational experience a positive one. we can't really change that fundamental level of motivation, and that is actually, you know, almost overrides almost every other factor. It's not that a great course can't inspire motivated students to greater heights, you know, or a fantastic teacher can't be, you know, doing the same, but motivating the unmotivated is
yeah. And I mean, on the other hand, I kind of understand where they're at. You know, they get out late. Most of them, from what I see, they're working way too many hours.
Right.
They're just, you know, they're trying to make ends meet. They're working too many hours. They're taking a full load of classes, and I imagine they're overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, what's the story with them being transferred? Was that was like one class that was running halfway through got shut down, and you had to take the students on?
Well, it was primarily students in one class who just weren't able to handle the level of what was required. I mean, it's like some of them didn't really have the math background they needed.
Okay.
And so they were floundering, and there was no way they were going to learn it in the requisite amount of time. So they dropped that course and took mine. And then there were a couple students from other courses where they just weren't hacking it.
Oh, okay.
And
so this is they were kind of like they were coming in there. Right, I understand. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what happened was at the beginning of the semester, I not only had a full class, but I had a long waiting list. And then after a week, half the class dropped out.
Right.
I'm not surprised because, you know, it is a challenging course. And I think they started to realize that maybe it would be more than they were ready for. So I was really in need of students. And then, as I said, these students got into trouble in the courses they were in. So the fellow in my department who's over the grad students talked to me and said, would I be willing to take them this late?
Right.
Because, you know, they really are in trouble and I could use the students. So it was a win-win. And it meant a lot of extra work. But at the same time, because I was working with them so personally, I really saw what they were getting and what they weren't. So that was helpful. And in fact, ironically, I find that most of the students in the class who are being productive are those ones that started late and that I worked with.
Interesting.
So they seem to be doing quite well.
Oh, good show. Yeah. Well, so in the background there, I've pulled up. I've navigated within your system to this is the performance assignment.
Yeah.
Now, what I was trying to do was see if I had like an example solution hanging around that I could quickly submit and check how that's working.
Well, I think there's one on in the SAS book directory.
Yeah, actually, no, I think I can now. I've just been failing to find it, but I think because this one hasn't changed significantly, I was just pulling down the indices performance CI.
Yeah, that's. I believe that's it.
Well, that one doesn't.
Think there's more to it.
This one only seems to have the XML. I think this particular one is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think if I go, where have I got to go? Is it the old? I think if I go into the, do I have the old set of everything? I've got rag simple there. I might have to go. I was just looking at the different performance assignments here. I mean, I think the performance one, like when they recreated the new AutoGrader, they did like a certain number of homeworks. So it was not including Oracle of Bacon. They did like a set of them up to the legacy one. They didn't, so there was a couple that were not set up with tests and things and didn't have the appropriate elements and bits and pieces. I was just here seeing, I think the previous, see this is now the older performance CI. Just clone that one in as well. I'm gonna just look, so this one, it has the elements, but they're maybe not zipped up. This one, I mean, hopefully the migrations will. So if I then, in principle, CD indices, in principle, I could generate quickly the solution for this by, it says, to create this archive in Unit, navigate to the DB directory. This is the kind of thing that fools a lot of people. CD solutions. CD. No, I think here, yeah, because it would just be the migrate. So it'd be from there.
Yeah,
and
it's just several migrations.
Right, it's just the migration files. So I've created a tar.gzip file there that at least will allow us to probe the system here. So let's just go into GitHub, sourcebook. This is the old one. I mean, now presumably you've got some of your students showing you the things that they're trying to submit.
Oh, that's what I've been trying to get from them. Again,
okay. Yeah.
You know, it's this constant. All right, if you want me to help you, you actually have to tell me where your stuff is so I can look at it.
I think the problem partly is that the students assume omniscience on the part of the instructor. They kind of assume that, you know, you can. We know. I mean, it's ironic because in some cases, and I've done this like in the boot camp, like if it's an assignment where I know it extraordinarily well, looking over their shoulder, I can just, it seems like magic to them. I can just say, just do that. And they're like, so the problem with that is they then think, yes, right. They're magical abilities on the part of the instructor.
Yeah. I have that happen at the beginning of every of my Python semesters. I have new students, like freshmen, and they don't understand that just because this is a computer science class doesn't mean I have control over their computer accounts, which of course I have no visibility into. And I have to explain to them repeatedly that if I could go into their account, that would be against privacy. So of course it's not allowed. So don't think I have. They won't be able to get in their account, and they'll figure that I'm just not helping them get in it.
Right. And they'll get angry at you, but not why are you not going?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, you know, I don't have visibility into this.
No.
It's not something I'm allowed to do.
No, indeed. In the background there, I mean, so we did have, independently of the issues that I was talking about before, which is that the AV102 thing, we did have a greater outage, or we had a queue outage. We had an edX queue outage during the week that was causing certain sorts of problems.
Yes.
But that has been fixed. I just restarted the grader here in the background. You know, this is trying to hit the grader. I'm not immediately seeing anything. It sometimes takes. I'm just going to have a look at, if I can here. So I mean, during this week, your students have been able to submit and, you know, other. Okay. So I think I see part of the problem here is that the performance homework that you've got here is pointed at one of the old grader queues.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
So.
Yeah. So actually, that's probably something I can fix, right?
Well, in fact, we can maybe fix it right now, because in order to get the information, well, what we should do is, I mean, that's interesting that that's okay. I mean, what I will do immediately is go into our live MOOC and look at what, not live, sorry, I mean, but look at the current version of the MOOC and look at what part of the performance, where it's pointing the performance homework at, and the performance is in the advanced thing. So we've got, this is this is going to be the new one. Okay, so then that's the performance homework here. Now the interesting thing there is we've got it, it says it's the revised one. So this should have been updated to, okay, that's interesting. So that one here as well is still, that's, that's strange. No, I mean, so superficially looking at that, so I mean, it's either that, I mean, they have this thing where when edX creates the clones of the courses for me, sometimes they do it before I've updated things.
Yeah.
At the same time, it may be that we, you know, the issue is more on our side, that the, I don't know, starting to have a feeling that this is maybe what it is that the, oh gosh, what's it called? That the, like I said, when they made the new grader, they never ported over the this particular Yeah. No, so it's okay. So it's pointing at the old grader, and I think that the issue there is that we haven't migrated the we haven't migrated it to the new system, and I think probably so. Like it would have been late last year, like 2000, was it? I don't know, 16. We're in the autumn when this course wrapped up, and we get to the end and find again that it's not been ported over, and I probably hacked a fix to it, like I just did to the AV102 things.
Sure.
And so probably it's failing for the same reason. And so, I mean, this is an interesting thing to go to. If I then go to here and we go to AWS console, I can go and check. Oh, no, really? Okay. So then we can go in. So this is where the AutoGraders live in EC2. Or it will be once I get back in here, EC2. And so we've got 4 running instances, and yeah, okay. So there we go. Yeah, so this, you see this here, Grader Spring 2014. This is running the Berkeley X CS169X P2 there.
Yeah.
So in fact, that's the instance that I need to be hitting if I want to be. What's the word? Oh. I will need to go and look at. So I think in principle, this is fixable in the same way that I did for that AV102 course earlier in the week. I just have to work out in another screen over here which is the entity to talk to. Is that going to be Spring? Okay, I've got one called AWS edX Spring 14 Q SSH. That in another window. Is that actually still running? Is it? Can I see the? No, wrong window from here. So this is running on this entity here. I think I'm logged in. Let me just check. Yeah, that number corresponds, and that's going to be on. Okay, yep, exactly. Here we go. So what we have here, this is the legacy grader that still grades the performance homework, and it's basically having this bad queue length response here, which is I determined yesterday in my kids' karate class, is because it's failing to manage the authentication with the edX queues. So I can, in principle, now fix this in the same way that in this really nasty hack that I did. Can I go find open recent? I thought I had just saved and closed it, but texted it is. I've still got to reboot my computer, but I can go. Goodness me! But I can almost. I need to go nano lib. What do I need? Which one was it? I think it's like edX submission or what have you. I can go to my blog. Raw. End of week, brain tired. Oh gosh. So here, so I will have just done a pull request on this called Breakthrough Anxiety because of breakthroughs yesterday and being anxious about them. And yeah, so this is the.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Basically, we need like the way it handles cookies to be slightly different. I guess I don't mention in here what the. I can go and can I find? Really, it's not going to find. I swear, I saved the. Why are you opening that window? Don't do that. Okay, but I think I can probably find. This is the very hacky piece of code which you'll now see me put into the grader. I am fairly sure it's edX submission. RB. No, that's not the wrong one. Nano lib edX control. Actually, I can probably work it out more easily by. No, I can't do control. If I did git status here, I'll see. Yeah, there we go. You can see the modified libedx controller. So if I do libedx controller there, we should see. So this is the change that I had to make a year ago to adjust how the cookies were handled. So if we now modify this, and so it's control W line 74. Oh no, is it not control W goes to line? Oh no, it's control underscore space 74. There we go. That's where the error is occurring. Up here is the authentication. So yeah. So this incredibly hacky thing here basically says, and the funny thing is the new grader, which is using mechanize under the hood, seems to do this automatically. It basically strips out the 3 cookies that just the key value pairs, and it ignores all the paths, expires by, everything else, throws that out. And I found yesterday that when I adjusted the AV102 legacy grader in this fashion and then started it rerunning like this, that you'll notice no error. And now he said with a theatrical flourish, if we go back to your system here and reset it, and then we choose some files like so, and we submit it, then let's just go back over to here. Will it actually receive it? It's in principle, it will hit. So this is the queue name of Berkeley X CS169X P2, which is what, it may take some time, which is what this is allegedly hitting, like so. Yeah.
By the way, while we've been talking, I finally have a couple students who have submitted to Slack what they submitted to the AutoGrader.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, yeah, please do feel free to pass those on to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So it would have been a wonderful little end to my Iron Chef thing there if this would have just worked. It's not immediately doing that, but then I think this is one of these ones that can take some time to grade.
Didn't you have it in the oven already?
Well, you know, if only. The interesting thing is we do seem to. I mean, you can. I can't scroll up in this environment, which is annoying. But so this was the effect that I achieved in the AV102 grader yesterday. It was like just rotating on that, you know, repeatedly trying to connect and getting the error, which I determined was authentication. That stuff that I stuck in there made it go away, as it has done here. But this one is still spinning. So, but that may just, well, it may be that it just takes some time, or that there is another deeper layer of problem that, I haven't understood yet. But so, yeah. Anyway, I think what at least we can provide is, you know, superficially, it's not that your students are doing anything wrong. It's that you know, I mean, the ironically, the legacy grader is following the set cookie HTTP instruction correctly, but for some reason, I don't know. I mean, edX keeps making occasional changes to their queues, and that has knock-on effects. You know, sometimes everything goes offline. There was obviously a change that they kind of allowed them to reconnect, but the legacy graders that we're still relying on in places ended up having some problems. So I mean, I'll just restart that grader one more time.
Well, I did send you 2 student submissions.
Okay. Yeah.
On Slack, so you should, one of them I actually ended up on BetaSaaSers, but I sent both of them to your as private messages.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's worth, if I can just grab one of those to try instead of my own. I mean, what I'm a little.
I would imagine that Joseph's should be right on.
Oh, okay.
Okay. His work is basically always spot on.
Yeah, so I've got that there. Let me.
By the way, I hate to interrupt you in the middle of this, but before I forget, are you aware if we're going to have a new edition of the book before fall?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess if Armando decides to make it happen, we might. Yeah, I don't know. I certainly wouldn't rely on it. I think it would be ideal if we did, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just I'm supposed to be ordering my books for next semester, and it's not a big deal because the bookstore won't carry it anyway.
No, sure. Yeah.
They can't make a profit. So, so God forbid the bookstore would be about helping the students and not about helping themselves.
Quite. Yeah.
But
so the interesting thing there is that. So I'm okay. There you go. Yeah, you're right. So actually, Joseph's has just worked there.
Oh, fantastic!
There we go.
Fantastic.
So maybe the solution thing that I was preparing for the whatever was like that was a hacked up from an older. So, but in principle now we can see. Yeah, it looks like. And the interesting thing. Yeah, I guess I'm not getting any. I'm used to in the current grader that it should be giving me some feedback there, and it wasn't doing it. But this may be on a different thing there. So yeah, so that one. Let me try the other one as well. But yes, so that actually, sometimes it's the concealed bug that's the hardest. But yes, I think we had a combination of things there that my what's the word? Template solution was in fact not actually a solution. And but so doing it then with Joseph's correct solution appears to have worked. So it's possible that we may have solved that problem for the short term.
Well, I mean, the short term right now is all we need.
Indeed,
this is their last assignment.
Right,
so,
right. Yes,
and I'm sure they want to kind of get it, like be able to check it off.
Yes,
so
it's nice closure for them if that will just work rather than being the final thing when they're and how much we reassured them it was the grader, they will always be suspicious that maybe actually it was it was their problem. So yes, I think we've addressed that issue. I think it's time for me to wrap up.
Yeah, no problem. So I can encourage them to go ahead and resubmit.
In principle, yes. It like as you can, I think you can see there.
Yeah.
This should be what Joseph would see if he now submitted it. So I'd encourage them to try again and say it's there was a problem on our side that's now been this edX / us, and that's now been fixed. So hopefully they should be okay.
Yeah, great.
Okay, good stuff. Lokesh, I don't know if any of that made much sense to you. There was a whole lots of things. I should probably go. Any immediate questions before we wrap up?
I'm good.
No, that was quite good.
Good stuff. Excellent. Well, do let me know if you need more documentation for your internship, and look forward to working with you over the summer. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Rose, great to see you. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll catch up with you next week.
Great to see you too. Thank you.
Bye for now. Take care.
Bye for now. Thank you.
Cheers.